Hey guys, welcome back. Two Brothers Off Script. I'm Jerry.
I'm Ryan.
And today we are going to lower your expectations
Yeah.
of us, of the channel,
Personally,
of life.
so
You want to take us in, don't you?
I'm gonna
feeling
bring it
like
in.
you're ready.
Hit
it.
I feel like I'm in that perfect level of just it's not even depression. It's like, I believe the word is resignation.
Okay.
You know, sometimes in a movie, especially action movies, you've got the hero and then the group of people that are following him. And before the hero's journey is done, he will have left several bodies behind, some of his friends and some enemies. And there's always one guy, his confidant, his best bud in the situation, who always ends up sacrificing themselves to save the mission or to keep the whole thing going. And it's almost always like a last minute effort, getting chewed on from the ankles up by zombies, and they're like, I'm taking you all down, and they shoot a propane tank, which we know on Mythbusters it doesn't work. So sorry, don't plan that.
Lower your expectations.
Lower your expectations. The explosion's not going to happen, and you're not even going to die from
And you won't kill the
first.
zombies.
You won't kill the zombies. So a burning zombie is still a zombie. So it's true. It's a true fact. It's an internet fact.
A burning zombie still a zombie.
It's still a zombie, and by definition, is still a problem. So, so he should have just used the bullet on himself. It's the only way out.
Oh my gosh!
But in every one of those situations, there was an expectation that something would happen, and it did, and everybody lived happily ever after. But that's not always life, right?
True.
Sometimes, and especially in life, you're going to, I don't know, maybe this is the time you buy the lottery ticket and you start planning your next vacation, you know what I mean? Like, oh, you know what? Even if I don't win all the numbers, say, if I get 5 numbers, I still get like $1 million.
Sure.
Totally, I'm happy with that.
I'd be happy with $1 million.
I've already lowered
I'm
my
happy with
expectations. I deserve to win now. This is totally my time.
I didn't want all $512 million from the Powerball.
Yeah, I wanted to be Batman, but I got the shirt. You know what I mean? So,
I wanted to be Batman. Okay.
It all worked out.
We'll put that in the title of the video.
So,
I wanted to be Batman, but I got the shirt.
It's on the thumbnail. But, it could be clicking on this video and you expect to be entertained. But there's... all of our other ones are on advice. Now, this advice segment video is personal to me because I have recently, in the last 3 months, and me and my wife, we've had high expectations of our... We took it as our personal value because it kind of was a reflection of us. Mm-hmm. Our house was on the market. Still is, technically, for the last couple of months, and not even 2 months now. We've been on the market about a month. But it's been a long month. That means regularly cleaning, doing the dishes, doing the laundry.
Got to keep it perfect.
Have you not done the laundry for 2 weeks in a row? Like, it doesn't happen when you're trying to sell your house. Your house has to look like nobody actually lives there, and you got to be quiet as a mouse when people are around. And there's no way that you can have a spotless house and then have these people come in and then not expect that they didn't like it. You put in a lot of effort on something,
right? And
then you didn't see any results for it.
Sure.
Like
my trips to the gym.
Yeah.
I feel like I put in a lot of effort, and I don't get results the first 3 times I go. So, I should probably stop.
Yeah. What is it? You want to lose 5 pounds? Put down the cheeseburger?
Well, yeah. So, this is something, and we'll come back to the house. But this is something one of my bosses used to say. He said, if you've got 5 pounds to lose, maybe you skip the McDonald's that day, right? Your goal is achievable.
For sure.
If you've got 50 pounds to lose, you might get a second cheeseburger.
For sure.
Because there's a fatalism that goes with a goal that's too big.
Shoot for the moon, Hope
Shoot for the stars.
shoot for the stars and land on the moon or something like
Shoot
that.
for the moon, land in New Jersey.
I don't remember. I've never been to Jersey. I don't think I want to. I'm gonna shoot for like just getting through traffic in a regularly timely manner here in Seattle. But so there's just so many things that happen in our day-to-day lives, and like our house, it was a part of selling the house is an appraisal process where the bank
Sure.
is going to be purchasing your house because for all of us who own homes or have bought homes in the past, we don't actually own the home. It's not our house. It's the bank's house, and we're just paying the bank back for letting us. We're piggybacking on the bank.
Right.
And that's nice, you get a lot of freedom, you pay your bill on time, no problems, but you don't pay your bill on time, 5 minutes later the bank's coming around, sending you
And they'll
letters,
take your
and
house.
they'll take your house back, and you're like, wait, I've been paying for like 5 years. No, it's not good enough. You got to pay every day, all day, no matter what you do. If you don't, you're going to lose it. But the bank gives an appraisal. The purchasing bank says your home is worth X amount of dollars in this market, and we set our millionaire lottery goal on this house. We basically said, look, we do not need to sell.
Mm-hmm.
We have a few bills that we'd like to just go ahead and wipe them out. The house is appreciated in value based on the market. You get the old Zillow's estimate out there, and it says your house is worth $750,000, and you're like, what? I could get all that, but it's not a real number, so don't go off of that. But
Zillow doesn't work for the bank.
yeah,
by the way.
bank doesn't use that number accurately. But anyways, our house was valued and we put a modest personal estimate on it. We said it's going to be worth this much money on the market. Let's go for that number. And the realtor we used said, hey, it's probably not going to happen. Good luck, but I'll go ahead and I'll take your business and I'll put in minimal effort. And if it ends up happening and you get this, hey, I guess still get a big paycheck, and everybody's happy. If not, it's worth the risk, basically. So he didn't have a lot of confidence in us, and that was kind of a downer. But
Sure.
we knew some people in realty and people we were talking about when we were thinking about buying another house, because you don't want to be homeless and you don't want to live in a junk apartment after having a nice house. So you say, I'm going to buy another house, and this is how I'm going to do it. You talk to the person, and they say, your house is totally worth the money. So it is a person we've known for a long time, and we believe in them, and they believed in us, which gave us this confidence, which made us think, let's shoot for the stars, and we'll definitely hit the moon, and everything will be great. Well, it didn't come through. The evaluation
This week.
Today. Literally today. That's why it's so fresh, and I really want to talk about it. It literally came through $30,000 less than what we were asking, and that's
all of your profit.
That's actually $40,000 more than we paid for the house. Still fantastic.
Right.
But we could take that money because we've got a couple of days here, and the buyers that are currently buying the house, they are going to come back and they're going to give us a counteroffer based on the new evaluation. Mm-hmm. Best case scenario, the people want to throw us a couple extra $100 and they say, hey, you know what? We'll give you that extra $5,000 that you were going to actually give to us to help pay for closing. So you can take this money and walk with it. But if we did that, we would be able to pay off all these bills, which isn't something we weren't going to be able to do anyways, but we would just do it a lot quicker, leapfrog into the next level of personal ownership, and we'd then be in an apartment. So it's like I can take my time, I can pay off my bills, take the long road, the low road, the road that I didn't really want to do, but I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Or I could take this money, take my payoff, and hope that in the next couple of years I can save up all the money that I wasn't gonna get until I sold this house, and then buy a house with that proceed. But who knows what the housing market's gonna be then? So it's like I've been playing this strategy up and down. If I do this, if I don't do that. But it's not just me, I'm thinking about the wife and the kid and what's going to happen and just all these different things. And I'm like, what? The best bet is going to be lower my expectations here, stick with the house I have, be comfortable in it. I've made it nice. I've upgraded and remodeled and done the sweat equity.
You put a lot of work into it.
and I'm going to enjoy what I've done to it for at least another year. And then I might consider putting it back on the market if the market's still holding strong. So it's, you know, I didn't win the lottery this time, but I didn't lose anything either.
No, you gained some experience.
Yeah. Every house we've tried to find and look at has been like, oh, this one's a fixer. I can afford this house because it's, oh, what? The roof isn't on there? What? I think I can put a roof on. Click how to put on a roof on YouTube. And you'll notice all the fastest shinglers on the world in the world there. And they can sure pound nails, but that's something that they've been doing for 25 years, so they have all this experience. I'm not going to be able to do that. My house is going to be full of water before the end of winter, you know?
I think we all dream big. Mm-hmm. I don't think that's bad. I mean, we've talked on this channel about exercising and fitness and, you know, managing your money and having big goals and having big dreams. And I believe in all those things. I want my kids to have big dreams. I want them to want more. Not in a way that's greedy, right? Not to want just to have.
Yeah.
Right? But to want to improve your life and the lives of the people around you. You know, in my mind, I feel like if you're a billionaire, being a 10 billionaire is not really a change in your life.
Right.
Does that make sense? Like, it doesn't
feel... You could buy a slightly bigger island.
But if you make $30,000 a year, and now you're going to make $60,000 a year,
that's a vast improvement.
That's a huge improvement in your quality of life.
I think the level is like $75,000. If you make $75,000, you're happy. Any more than $75,000,
people are not more happy.
Not happier because of that. You know, you can buy nicer things, but you're basically going to just be buying a more expensive shirt and more expensive car, and more expensive everything. And that becomes then a status symbol for other people. But at what point in that climb, you know, if you weren't a trust fund baby who just fell into the Wayne Enterprises or something like that, you had to achieve a lot of things on your way, and then...
Well, Bruce Wayne had it pretty good. Except for the part where his parents were murdered
and then,
in front of him,
yeah,
and the mental problems,
right,
and the lack of relationships after that point.
Except for when he had to play act, you know. So
I wanted to be.
Which one, though?
You know, I think, though, that we all... I think there's a mistake, too, in, like, trying to look like you've achieved something, right? And what I mean by that is the people who say, you know, I make $10 an hour, but I bought the latest cell phone, and I'm going to drive... you know, a BMW.
Right.
That's a mistake. That's not responsibility, right? Now, I'm not saying that from a perspective of judging them, right? Or that they're not independent people, or that they can't make their own choices in life. Absolutely,
it's totally judgment.
Absolutely. Well, what I'm saying is, no, I'm not saying, like, that doesn't make somebody a bad person because they make that choice. But what you're doing when you do that is you're trying to prove to other people that you're valuable, right? Your value doesn't come from what other people perceive you to be.
I guess there would be examples of where someone does that because someone told them they never would or never could.
Sure.
Even if they're living beyond their means, they're still doing it to prove somebody wrong. I think that, like, if you've got the money to buy the nice car or something like that, like, I have zero problem with rich people. I don't have a problem with rich people. I know a couple of rich people, not like, hey, you know, this is my rich buddy. It's more like, hey, I'm lucky enough to know these people that have done well for themselves and are wealthy. And I get some of the benefits of that, you know, like a nice dinner every once in a while, or a trip or something like that we get to go on. But it doesn't have anything to do with me. Like, it's not my personal achievement, you know. I basically married into it, so it's pretty cool, you know. Shout out father-in-law, you know. What's up? So But he's done a lot. He's done the work, and I'm able to benefit from that. But it gives me a goal, to work towards. But I don't expect to be in his position in 5 years or something like that. Like,
Right.
he's been at it for so long that it's just like, it almost seems unattainable. And it would take, there'd have to be a lot of circumstances in the right order to get me into that type of position as I am now. And my current track, my goal, as I talked about before, is like, I want to become, a police officer or sheriff or something like that. Like, I'd like to do these things because I want to make a difference. And my expectation is that, you're looking at Paul Blart over here, or I get to roll around on a Segway or something, like that would be...
You wanted to be Mel Gibson from Lethal Weapon. And you end up Paul Blart?
Well,
is that what we're talking?
That's a possible
You wanted
trajectory.
to be you want to be Batman?
You better pull the bowstring back a little further, shoot a little harder there. But I'm just saying, like, I don't want that trajectory in my life.
Pull the bowstring back and shoot a little harder.
Like you ever play that little Archer game where you try and shoot the guy with the cannon and stuff, and it's like you keep undershooting and
all right.
You can never get there. But eventually, you can either work your way through that wall and reach your goal. Sometimes you got to take the low road and blast through that wall to hit the castle or something with your cannon.
It's not a reason to, and I'll say this, and I'm sorry, it's not a reason, I'm not advocating giving up on dreams.
No.
Right? When we say lower your expectations, it's understand that looking like something you're not doesn't make you happy. Right? And when you're looking at, hey, I have this barrier that I've run into, right? Mm-hmm. Financially in this situation, the numbers didn't work out. Not falling into this position of like,
I can't do anything better.
Yeah, I can't do anything else, and I can't ever have hope, and I'm going to give up, and I'm just going to stagnate and stop. Like,
you can continue to
take a pause. You can take a pause on that particular track,
right?
And then go do something else, right? Maybe you take this year, if that's your plan, right? Maybe you take this year, if that's
the benefit of my situation. Like, I would say, not everybody is in this situation. I need this job, and if I don't get this executive level job, then my MBA is worthless, and now I've got to go and flip burgers at McDonald's. Like, that's not a position I'm in. And my position is actually one that a lot of people would be looking at me and saying, well, I wish I was in your position. I wouldn't be making that choice because I'd be totally happy just having a nice house and a nice car and everything, and I'd be fine with that. But like yours, where you've been continually trying to achieve more so that you can elevate yourself and your situation, so maybe eventually you could retire.
Yeah, I have a billion kids.
And not die on the work floor, shuffling boxes from one side to the other. Like, I want that too, but I'm also in a position, I'm lower middle income. I've got enough money that I'm basically able to go out and pick up a novelty mug or something like that, or buy a funny t-shirt or whatever. But I'm not, the methods that I use in my life have allowed me to get to this point, and I'm okay with where I'm at. I've always said, I don't like money. I like what money gets me, but I don't really like the concept of money because you never have enough of it. No matter how much you have, you'll never have enough. But I only need money to achieve, a very set goal. I want to be debt-free, and I want to be comfortable. Those are the only two things. And comfort for me, I don't think is extravagance. Like, I want to have a nice comfy chair, I want to have a nice big TV, and I want to have a nice fast gaming computer so I can just play games and relax. But I don't want to come home and be like, all right, I gotta put in some more nails because the boards that are keeping the zombies out are coming down again. Like, I don't want that to be my situation. I want to have a door that's strong enough to survive the zombie apocalypse with no additional reinforcement. If that's clear enough,
that's a good goal.
I want to be comfortable in my space, and I am. But I had dreams on these houses that I saw in this market, and I was like, you know what? Can I buy this house? If my house sells for X amount of dollars, I can afford to buy that house and be debt free and still have a good commute. And I started to set my flag over there, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not even here anymore. I don't like this house. This house is stupid. I want that house now. I want to be over there. And if I'm over there, I'm going to get that railroad tie that I saw, and I'm going to build a play set, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that. And all of those goals, I started setting goals for a future I didn't even have yet.
Right.
And it was like, that's where the real hit is. I know that it's unattainable now. For now.
Yeah.
It might be attainable in a year or 6 months or 9 months or whatever. But right now, after having set the goal for 3 months and just continually working towards it and then having it fall off this cliff. I was Columbus and I found the edge of the world. Like it was scary and it was painful and it was annoying and I had a brief moment of what next, but this is also why I came up with, before we ever got to this point, it's like, you know what, honey, if we don't sell the house, guess where we still are? We're in our house. Our bills are lower because we're in a smaller house. We're more comfortable in our smaller house, so we don't have to move again. It's like you start to look at the positives in the negative, and that keeps you from bottoming out, and you can continue to try and achieve the next goal. And so lowering my expectations was, I kind of set up a safety net, an emotional safety net of, these are all the reasons why, even if it doesn't work out, I'm okay. And I think that helps a lot.
It does.
But for someone who desperately needs the next achievement in their life and it doesn't come, that happens. That's just an unfortunate circumstance.
I really believe, though, that that's about happiness, right? Like our perception of what's going to make us happy. We talked about in Are You Embarrassed, right? We talked about this just a couple weeks ago. Mm-hmm. If I feel like I want to be more fit, I want that. I want that for myself. I want that for my kids. Most days, okay? Every day, I want Taco Bell.
I don't know why, man.
I'm not saying it's good. I'm just saying in my mind, okay? Every day, I want a strawberry milkshake, okay? Now, I don't buy a strawberry milkshake every day. I don't buy a strawberry milkshake once a month, okay? I don't eat Taco Bell every day. I don't eat Taco Bell once a month. But I want it. The idea that we're going to be happier if we lose 50 pounds, or that if we sell the house, or if that we have a fast car, right? I wanted a Corvette, I bought a Ford Fusion, okay? Like, if we have this idea like, well, that's going to make me happy, and that's going to make me happy, and that's going to make me happy, and that's going to solve all my problems. Or in your case, right, I'm going to get this new house, and I'm going to have all this stuff. My kid's going to have an Ewok village, right, to play in and be the coolest kid in the whole neighborhood.
How's your Ewok village coming along?
You know what? My Ewok village I'm making progress. I got the base station down.
Yeah, but it's ground level.
You know what? It had 2 trees in it, and it was crooked as heck, and I still built it. So I'm really happy when I think about it I'm sorry I'm pounding the table here, but I'm really happy when I think about it that I'm recognizing as a person now, at this stage of my life, that my happiness is not going to come from stuff. And my happiness is not going to come from necessarily achieving a goal. Happiness comes from relationships. It comes from sharing success. It comes from sharing goals together with people. And it comes from achieving your dreams and your passions.
Well, I think you could wrap all that up and say it comes from doing. Everything you do, as long as you don't stop doing, you're doing something more. Like if you're just doing the day-to-day, perhaps you're not doing the thing you wanted to do, but maybe you're waiting for your time to shine or something like that. But if you never try out for the part, you're never going to get the part. If you never scratch the lotto ticket, or scratch the scratcher, or play the lottery, you're never going to win. You got to play to win. You got to do to achieve. You have to set a goal and shoot for it, but have a backup goal.
Yep.
You can't put all your eggs in one basket. You can't count your chickens before the eggs hatch. You can't do anything without at least trying to do something. So when I want something so bad that it puts a sour taste in my mouth when I don't get it, I feel like maybe I set the wrong goal.
Mm-hmm.
And we set it out, 2 years ago we bought our house. 2 years, April 15th. So yeah, 2 years ago we bought our house. And I told myself when I first moved into the house, I said, it's going to take me 7 years from the time I purchased this house to the time where I can sell it and make some money back because of interest and everything and the cost to sell. And in 2 years, I can sell my house and I could walk away with $30,000. Now, if I took that $30,000 and I just said, I'm going to put it into a new house, guess what would happen? I'd still have all my bills, and I'd have new bills, bigger bills, and I'd be in a new house, and I'd forfeit something, and I'd be in collections at some point, or I would have to basically say, I'm never going to turn the lights on in this house because I can't afford the power bill, but I am going to pay all my other bills, that's for sure. It wouldn't be a happy life. I would loathe getting up in the morning because the goals that I've set for myself are constantly not being achieved.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it's best to me to just try and keep the power on in the house I do have, and then still have enough money left over to, I don't know, take my family out to eat or something. Like I was thinking Denny's in the morning. It's America's Diner, it's kind of junk.
They've improved their menu a lot. We haven't been for a while.
Yeah. Well, we do the show now.
Yeah, now we do the show. It's almost been a year. I'm actually kind of excited about that. We've got 2 weeks left, I think, to the year mark. And I don't know that we'll do anything special other than say we've made it a year.
Well, it's Cinco de Mayo today.
It is.
Mother's Day's coming up.
Oh, man.
Yeah. My wife's birthday coming up this month.
Mother's Day's important.
Yeah. So we got a lot of things to talk about still. And we're going to keep shooting episodes, and we're going to keep making content that we enjoy. And hopefully you guys enjoy it too.
If you like what we're doing, share it with somebody. I think we need one more subscriber to get to 50.
One more subscriber, that's all it takes.
We just one. We need one more person to click the button.
Yeah. So I know they exist. I mean, they just don't stick around. It's unfortunate. This is where all the good stuff's at. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll hopefully see you next time.
Have a great week. Bye.